Welcome to the fourth dimension, tuning you into a space where all matter of things evolve in the fullness of time. My name is Rory, and in this very special conversation, I sit down with my mum and first spiritual teacher, Annie I. We begin with a conversation about the spirit, but what unfolds is an intimate and revealing journey through motherhood, memory, and the metaphysical. In this episode, we cover her 10-year path into yoga, meditation, and the presence of her guru, the healing power of pain, and how it led her not only to physical wellness, but spiritual awakening, and the invisible presence of love, and what it truly means to interact authentically. From a small town in southeast Queensland to the inner dimensions of self-awareness, Annie shares stories of becoming a yogi, the joy of still learning, and the sacred humour found in daily life. Mum says during the conversation, pain is the ultimate tool for shifting a belief. This conversation is an honour and a tribute to my amazing mother, a hard-working lady, event manager, business entrepreneur, and spiritual guide. It reminds me that true teachers are not always found in temples. Sometimes they raised us, quietly guiding us with grace and truth. My quote for this conversation comes from philosopher Ram Dass. He says, "We're all just walking each other home." I choose this quote because it emphasizes the interconnectedness of humanity and the idea that we are all on a journey together, supporting each other along the way. It suggests that our relationship with others, even the briefest interactions, play a role in guiding each other towards a sense of belonging, love, comfort, and peace, which is often referred to as home. I hope you enjoy this conversation as we share a quest for meaning, adjusting to the frequency of spirit with Annie I. Here we are at the fourth dimension again, and today I've got an exciting chat ahead with my mum, Annie I, and it's the first time we've had a chat, so we're at part one, and we're going to kick things off, I think, today with talking about the spirit or spirituality and all of the related subjects. So it's really exciting. I'm just going to start up my camera there. I can see my mum. She's come into the waiting room. Hey, Mum, how are you?
Namaste, son.
Namaste.
Great to see you.
Great to see you.
This
How
is
are you?
unusual. Let me just do a wee bit of alteration. Is that window, should I close my blind or anything?
No, that's great. We can see you perfectly. You're looking great today, Mum. Love the glasses.
Thank you, darling. Every day is a good day above ground. So I've installed an old pair of glasses since I've had my cataract operations.
Yep.
I've been and had an optical illusion. No, I've been and had an optometrist evaluation, and I do need a slight prescription. So I'm just using an old one while I wait for my new glasses.
Yes, right.
So well, I can see you, but I love the clarity. And because you've blurred your background, I feel like my eyes are blurry. I feel like I've got cataracts again.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And so I put my glasses on hoping you'd clear, but you don't.
Yeah. I'm like some discombobulated human in front of some ethereal illusion background. So it's not your glasses, it's technology, Mum.
It is. And you know what? We all want to be so believed, and yet by blurring all the backgrounds, it makes it less believable to me. You know?
I'll take your feedback on board. So as you may have seen, some of these chats, I start with an introduction. So this chat will get an introduction. So it'll kind of be like a bit of deja vu. You'll see me talking before this one goes public, talking about the chat. And the background in that will be clear. So I guess one of my kind of thoughts around it was that during the chats, I didn't want too much distraction in the background. I wanted it kind of just to focus on the chat because my office space here is cluttered full of little.
I know. I want to see what you've put on that jolly printer's tray. that I used to have no end of little tidbits all over, and I notice you've garnered it and you've got it on the wall.
Yes, well,
You're
it's
trying to see
interesting.
what's in there all the time.
Well, we'll definitely get to chat about some of the things in there, I reckon, as we go through our conversation. But I got off the phone or another meeting with Roland recently. I think we're up to about part 6, and we're talking about some of the little things that I've got behind me at the moment in that chat. So it's not public yet. We're still trying to catch up with time to make things go live online, but there's some very interesting conversations coming up. So hopefully you get to catch up with them soon too.
Yes, yes. Well, that'll be great. So in that, as you introduce your guest and you have the clarity behind you, it's very, I'm not really listening to you because I know you're just introducing your guest and I've already heard him. So I'm busy looking over your shoulder, you see. And I thought, well, that'll be a good reason why. And the guru, whenever I talk to her, she's never blurred. Everything is always as clear as, but there is only her. You know, like you don't see a whole bunch of hanging around stuff, you know.
Well, she's definitely more enlightened than me. I've still got a
Oh,
lot of
well,
her.
she is a very enlightened being. But anyway.
Yeah. All of these earthly artifacts carry with them a story, and some of them hopefully we can bring into our story and have a chat about. But
Imagine we're going to have more than one chat. I was bouncing around on the couch listening to Roland yesterday. I was nearly having conniptions. Oh God, because all, you know, it's really important to me, that clarity and clearly stated things. So I get a bit frustrated when he's a bit all over the place.
well,
And
both of us get.
I'm trying to talk his words for him. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to behave.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a whole new medium for all of us. So, just trying to adapt to technology and, I guess keep it authentic and not have it too pre-scripted for us is, I think, a really interesting way of doing things. And I think with the way AI is moving and it's going to be able to self-generate or any person, you, me, anything else that it wants to do. But we're going to be able to see it for, the artificial sort of product that it is. I think these sort of authentic chats, it will be very hard for it to replicate because it is so gritty and it's not perfect. And that's part of what I love about it.
Well, I suppose it's all in the viewer's perception as to how good it is.
The eye of the beholder, as they say.
That's right. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yes. So anyway, I do quite a lot of Zooms and quite a lot of meetings this way.
Yeah,
As I feel quite confident with it. It's just that I've never ever done one straight off a messenger, and I didn't realize it was going to be different. So
yeah,
it's possible to do if I keep it in my phone. But I was trying to, anyway, it doesn't matter. I obviously have got a very old phone. It's going, it doesn't support this, it doesn't support this.
well,
So
just
one of
yeah,
the cast offs from about, I don't know, 6 years ago or something. So
yeah,
I can't get everything. Anyway, this is working quite well, it would seem. It's my preferred. I'm more comfortable. Like, these phones are too small.
yeah. That's fine. However, it's comfortable for you. A couple of the people I talk to just walk and talk on their phones. Some sit, some stretch. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing actually outside of the camera for you, but it tends to work. It doesn't matter how. That's the main thing.
No, it doesn't really at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
But I just thought I'd set the table for everyone so that they can kind of get some context. So, Mum lives up in a little town in the southeast of Queensland. Beautiful location, and I look forward to going there. We've been getting there maybe once a year or thereabouts recently, which has been lovely. Mum gets down to my location, as I've said. I'm down on the south coast of New South Wales about the same once a year or thereabouts. So we catch up in person and have a great time together when we do. But this technology allows us to have a phone call over all that distance, which must be over 1,000 kilometres. So we're talking in real time, we're connected, and I'm keen to explore spirituality and other matters with your mum. And I guess the reason why I was keen to start just on that subject, and I'm sure we're going to meander through a whole range of subjects, but spirituality has been something that you raised me with, and it was something that I really hold dear to my heart, in that you were always a very spiritual person, but you didn't try and force me into any sort of way of thinking. You kept me thinking about spirituality, and I guess that gave me the freedom to explore, as opposed to you potentially being in a rigid kind of way of thinking. I had the opportunity to explore it with the freedom that you gave me. Um, and so that's led me on a journey in life to try and understand, what is spirituality? What is the spirit? How do people choose their faith? What are the things guiding us in life? Is there something after life that we're all connected by? And you and I have talked on that subject many times. So I'm really keen to start at that point, and I guess before I hand over to you, Mum has uh, been recently, or for years now, been involved in yoga and meditation, and more recently been instructing and training people in that process, and has a yogi. So I'm really interested in kind of understanding that side of things, and maybe we could start there. As how's your spiritual journey now, and doing yoga and meditation, how have you connected into the spirit realm?
Well, that's a big ask, but
Mm.
with the guidance of a guru, I might actually be able to give you a little bit of insight, perhaps. But I should just clarify, whilst I am a yogi and I do have a guru and I am a trained teacher, I have no students at this time, apart from, I could loosely say, Tony, who is very unresponsive and very uncooperative. And so I may come to teaching down the track, but having the skills to teach is more important to me than having the student at this time, because I feel very much the student myself.
Mhm.
And so rather than try and impart to people something that, whilst I feel clear about in my own mind, I haven't yet got the skill, the wisdom, experience, and knowledge to fully gift it to someone else in a way that they would understand. And so I don't know if you'll indulge me, but I was thinking about what you might ask me. And whilst my journey is now in its 10th year, I started yoga. There's an old saying that I learned in a very much earlier life, in a different realm, in a different place, that is, pain is the ultimate tool for shifting a belief. And I was in such pain,
Mm.
such emotional and physical and um, um, well, it was pain from being disconnected from myself. I didn't know that that was the pain, but it was the pain of my physical body that led me to a woman who became my initial, or is still my yoga teacher. But it was through her over a long period of time that I came to realize that what I was learning was a spiritual, mystical thing. It wasn't just a set of poses that freed up my body so that I could live without pain. And it was only, I was 4 or 5 years in before I even knew there was a guru.
Mm. Mm.
I was 4 or 5 years in before I understood that I could now embark on a journey of self-discovery because I wasn't distracted by the physical pain of my body. And that's a quick encapsulation of how I came to yoga. So it was pain of my physical body that led me to alleviating the pain of my spiritual body in now feeling the connection to the self, I think I texted you last night while I was listening to you and another contributor to your channel. And I was getting a little bit frustrated trying to seek some clarity there. But I feel very clear, and I understand how difficult it is to help someone else understand what it is that you understand.
Yes.
So I thought that you might indulge me today, because when I came to understanding the pain of my self, my capital S self, who was not visible to me at that time because I was living in my small s self. That is perhaps not something that you easily understand right now, but I'd like to take 12 minutes of your hour, you seem to do, to read
Absolutely.
something that changed my life and gave me another way to think about what was happening to me. And I've done this many times with a number of people, and I know it takes me 11 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay.
So if you can live with that, I'd like, and this will then tell you and help explain what I've discovered. But it is from someone eminently more capable of sharing it with you because they shared it with me. And perhaps together we can learn how to help other people learn it too. But anyway, if you would just indulge me for a little bit. So it was a teachings article that it was actually a teachings article from the guru from about 2007. But in 2022 of the January, I was starting my studies in like really starting to get into it. I was already into it, but now it was starting to resonate. And so in January 22, as part of the teachings articles for the year, Guru Devi Nimanalanda wrote this. The title is One. There is really only one of us here. You and I are different expressions of the one reality. It's similar to how ice cubes are all made of water. You are an individualized form of one essence that has become all. Each and every different thing and being is made of the same essence. Called Shiva in the yogic system, the one is not only outside of you, but it is within you and is being you. This is why I call you Shiva. Oh, Shiva. When I look through my eyes and I see you, it's like I'm looking in a mirror after I've gotten a haircut. The outside looks a little different, but the core essence is the same. This way of seeing is called mystical vision, the ability to see God in all the forms she becomes. This is what yoga gives you. Just as Sufism is the mystical branch of Islam and Kabbalah is the mystical branch of Judaism, yoga is the mystical branch of Hinduism. Not a religion, yoga is a science, the science of maximizing human capacity. You use your body, breath, mind, and heart in sophisticated ways to access the divinity hidden within you. It's a tactile and practical process with reliable results. You get enlightened. Maybe neck pain or stress got you started in Svarupa Yoga, but you've already become more enlightened than you used to be. You're more centered and peaceful, calmer, happier, and more creative. Your inner light shines more radiantly and more frequently. Not only do others enjoy it, So do you. I promise you it keeps getting better. Every Svarupa yoga class or meditation gives you an experience of the one that you are. While the poses make you healthy and strong, the most important effect is the inner opening. We use spinal decompression to open up to access your own self, your divine essence, O Shiva. No matter how many people are in class, every single one of you experiences the same self, for there is only one. When you find your own self, you realize it is the self of all. The one is being all while being you. Chaitanyam Atma. Shiva Sutras 1.1. Consciousness is self. Your own self is consciousness itself. This pivotal sutra has only 2 words, each with deeply layered meanings. Thus, I have given you 2 translations above, rendering it forward and backward. Chaitanya means consciousness itself. Atma means self. Thus, in word order, the sutra says, consciousness is being you. Consciousness is yet another technical term for the one reality, which I have already referred to by many names above, their being italicized, sorry, just for my benefit. The one, or the one reality, one essence, is named Shiva. Finding your own divine essence is finding your own self. Oh, Shiva. I use all these different words to help people get past reactions they may have to the name of God, the word most often used in English. Yes, I could say that your own self is that which we call God, but consciousness means something different than what you think it is, think God is. Consciousness names the all-pervading essence of existence that is aware of its own existence. You are that existence, and you are aware of your own existence. The reason you are aware of your own existence is because you are that existence which is aware of its own existence. Are we confused yet?
No, this is fascinating. And yeah, I'm following.
Simply stated, you exist and you are aware that you exist. Your awareness is consciousness. You are the one who exists and is being aware, O Shiva. Thus, you are existence and you are aware of your own existence. Both together is what is meant by consciousness itself. Your own existence is existence itself. The light shining through you comes from your inner source, your ability to see, to hear, to think, and to care. It all comes from that deep inner source, which is yourself. Like every window shines with light from one sun. I love this analogy. Like every window shines with the light from one sun, every being and every object is a unique manifestation of Shiva, including you, including me. How glorious it is. The above sutra, 1.1, is a foundational sutra in Kashmiri Shaivism, a tantric philosophy and practice that empowers you to see the divine in all. In this system, while living in the midst of the world, you discover your essence and share it with the world. This is the second meaning I offered for the sutra. Your own self is consciousness itself. It means when you look deeply within, you discover that your own self is Shiva. Living in the midst of the world, normally you take your cues from outside of you. You draw on inner resources to bring forth what is needed in different situations. Sometimes you're the loving and supportive friend or partner. At other times, you are pragmatic and productive, accomplishing various tasks. Because your essence is consciousness itself, you have a whole range of capacities. In life, you specialize in a certain few of these capacities. Because you use these capacities again and again, you depend on them for your sense of self. You use them to construct a feeling of self-worth. And while this is good stuff, it is limited and limiting. Your sense of self depends on how things are going in the world and how you look to others. Yoga calls this your small s self, meaning that the word self begins with a lowercase s. By contrast, the goal is the experiential knowing of your capital S self, where the word begins with an uppercase S. But there are not really two of you in there. There is only one of you. There is only one reality. You are that one, being Shiva. You have all the capacities within. She says, I call it dimensionality. Oh, Shiva, you are a multi-dimensional being with every dimension made of consciousness. I'll compare it to the ocean. Oceanographers tell us that the ocean has dimensionality. From a ship, they lower a bucket on a chain and collect a sample of the surface water. Then they collect another water sample from 10 feet down and one from lower, down to hundreds of feet or more. Analyzing all these levels, they find different things. Just as our oceans are multi-dimensional realities, so are you. You're used to focusing on the surface level of your being, constructing your sense of selfhood from the churning of your thoughts and emotions like waves marching through. But you have depths. These depths are worth exploring. This is yoga's purpose, to introduce you to the dimensionality of your own being. The deepest levels are hidden from you, the ultimate mystery until you get the mystical key. This is Shaktipat, the initiation that reveals your divinity to you. Shaktipat is the speciality of our tradition, that a yoga master who is established in capital S self can awaken capital S self in another. Once awakened, your own self arises within, enlivening and enlightening you every time you call on it. All you have to do is turn your mind in that direction and invoke the inner arising. Mantra is the mystical formula that accomplishes this. Thus, when you get Shaktipat, you also get the enlivened mantra, which empowers you to explore deeper and deeper within. Your mind is your most important tool. While you have been using your mind to look outward, it is also the tool you use to look inward. However, your mind is currently conditioned by the ways you've been using it, perhaps even gunked up with some residue that needs to be cleared out. Thus, all of yoga's practices are for your mind. Working with your body and breath are effective ways to refine and empower your mind for that inner exploration. All of yoga's heart-based practices also captivate your mind so you can use it for your own upliftment. Think of your mind like a magnifying glass. When you look at your problems, your mind often magnifies them into big, hairy, scary stuff. But you can turn your mind's eye inward and your mind will magnify consciousness. intensifying your perception of who and what you are, then you not only know your shiverness, you experience the unending bliss of consciousness. Being shiver, you see shiver being all. This is the fulfillment of yoga's mystical promise. And this is why we do more yoga.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Mum. Thank you for
That
that.
will help you understand why I'm so committed and so
Yes.
emotionally invested, spiritually invested, physically invested in this as my life's path now.
Yes, it's so beautiful. I'm so glad that you've found it, Mum.
Isn't
Thank
it
you for
wonderful? I have
thank
to
you for
really get my heater on. I've just got very, very cold. Like all my energy just was sapped right out of me.
that's beautiful, Mum. Thank you for sharing that. It,
So
it
it
gives
is not
us
my words, of course. You
yes,
understand, and it's really important that we understand where it came from. It's
yeah.
not my words. These are the words of my guru. So
Mhm.
Guru Devi. And
Yep.
I am very, very fortunate to have her guide me in this way, really. It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful. And there's a lot to I guess unpack from that. It's a very,
Yes, yes,
very
it requires a lot of discussion and thought. And
there's a lot to unpack. So um just while I get my head around that and think about where we start unpacking it, I guess to give people that are listening an insight into your life or your routine and how you maintain uh, this way of thinking and maintain your health and your spirituality. You've got an ashram at your property that you are able to use. And can you explain the ashram to everyone?
it's just the most divine space. It was created out of love, of course, which is what most things are created from, but not always. And we had a surplus of windows and doors after various builds on the property and a couple of little renovations, or just little things, but we had a variety of different doors for different purposes and windows. And I loved each and every one of them. And so I said to Tony, my beautiful husband and partner in life, that I felt that he would be able to do something really wonderful with them and make me a little shed made of doors and windows. And of course, set the man a task. And what does he do? He just goes and makes it happen. And so he did, over a period of a couple of months, he built me about a 4 meter by 2.5 to 3 meter shed, capital S shed, and in the process of building it, he was thinking he was going to go there and drink alcohol and have all sorts of parties and things down there. So he didn't have to go into his own little shed, which was a lovely shed, but it is a tool shed and a work shed. So anyway, much to his surprise, I'd identified a different purpose for it, and it became Grammy's ashram. And it is for my use and anyone I invite to it. But if they're a yogi, they're very welcome to come into it without an invitation. There are no vices conducted in this area at all. There is absolutely no alcohol. There are no drugs of any kind, pharmaceutical or others. And it's where I do my daily practice. I started off, I've only been really doing daily practice for about 4 years, maybe getting close to 5 since we're halfway through another year. But once I started out doing just one class a week of an hour and a half, and I was getting such great results that I thought, well, imagine if I actually did more than that, what sort of an effect that might have on me.
Yeah.
And so I increased it to twice and 3 times and 4 times. Then I started doing it more and more often. It was really important I had a space. And so this became the ashram. And subsequently, I go there every day, and I do my physical yoga there, my spiritual practice there. I do all my reading. I study text down there, Bhagavad Gita, all number of different texts from enlightened beings. And it has a lot of Shakti, which is the energy of Shiva in there. And when Phil and Michelle, your brother and his partner were here, I did a lot of yoga with Michelle in there, but she was really my only student. But anyway, it is a welcome. I welcome anyone to come into it. And it's just a place full of love, full of Shakti. I have my guru and her guru and his guru. Because we have a long Kashmiri Shaivism has a very long lineage going back many thousands of years. And I'm loving what I'm hearing about AI because it's exposing, revealing, showing, whatever the word terminology is, so much more about this that is being realized now with AI. So what
Yes.
I'm being taught is what I am actually, my studies are what is being revealed through AI. But do you know what I mean?
I do.
It's not a surprise to me because this is what I've got, the authentic source. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Through the generations of thousands and thousands and thousands of yogis and all the grace and Shakti that they bring to this particular form of Svarupa. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
amazing. And so it's like riding on the shoulders of giants again, you know.
Yes.
It's the recognition of that. And anyway, I could go on.
Let me jump
Jump
in
in anytime.
with just touching on the AI being able to analyze ancient texts and theories, and it is doing amazing things in that space. So, as you're aware, I had a conversation with a dear old friend, Mick Robinson, and we talked for about 5 or 6 parts about how he had turned his AI into an analysis machine for the Bible, and essentially it was able to draw out all sorts of hidden codes and other things. And there've been lots of chats in the past about the Bible containing hidden codes and ancient sacred knowledge, and his AI ended up finding things. So
I
it's
have
it's
seen some of
it's
it.
yeah. So it's no surprise that these ancient texts, including those of Hinduism, and others, are finding hidden secrets that have always been there, but the AI has the ability to kind of condense a lot of information and find patterns within it that support scientific theories, even that we're only beginning to understand as well. So there's this interesting feedback loop, or it may even be recursion, let's call it that, where it is coming to know itself. um, so there's some really interesting parts to that AI thing, and I'm keen to come back to that at some point. But I guess a good place to kick it off is in the physical aspect of the yoga. So because I can identify with that from my own experience, in that I've done martial arts for years, which require you to learn and repeat and become good at certain patterns of movement that involve the whole body. And so, over many decades of doing those, some people call them forms or kata, but these moves effectively help to center the body. Obviously, they give you physical exercise in the process, which is good for your body, but they help to center you and balance you and give you some one-mindedness, or single-mindedness.
Yeah, I can clarify that. So the object of it is to sequentially decompress the spine.
Mm.
So we start the sequence as it's just 4 points. So we start with the tailbone and we move to the sacrum and then the waist and then the rib cage. And we repeat that, like it's repeat, but there are many asana. So these poses or body movements are known as asana. And so there are asana to open the tailbone, there are asana to open the sacrum, there is asana to open the rib cage, the waist rather, and then asana to open the rib cage. And when I started, my issues, my pain, all the pain had manifested in my neck, and I couldn't move my neck either way, and I was in no end of pain. And fortunately, Brahmini, my yoga teacher, she's also known as, her name is Jules, but she's been gifted a name from the guru. Her name is Brahmini. And where am I going with this? So Brahmini introduced me. Oh God, no, I just lost my train of thought.
No, that's all right. It's about the poses and
Oh yes.
decompressing.
So
Yep.
Brahmini said to me, Annie, it's wonderful that you've come, and you'll feel such relief over time. But because your pain is in your neck and everything starts in the tailbone, it's going to be quite a process before you feel the relief you're really looking for in your neck, because it goes sequentially up the spine in the opening and the upliftment of that spine, which then carries up through the neck and the head and so on. And she was right. It took about 5 years. I mean, it got better and better because the tension was coming off other parts of the spine. So the neck did get better. But it wasn't until I had really freed right up to my rib cage over a long period of time that it really started to become flexible in a way that is pretty much, I mean, I know that if I don't do my practice, all of these things come back, like as soon as I feel great, and this is true of most humans, as soon as we feel good from the effects of whatever we're doing, whether it be medications, pharmacology, exercise, asana, whatever, we tend to stop doing it because now we think we're right. But of course, the secret is to continuing to do it. And so it just becomes a daily practice. And the more you do it, the better you feel. And I love the discipline of a daily practice. I felt very undisciplined, and I've been searching all my life for myself, really, but I'm looking in the weirdest of places for myself. I don't know why I thought I would be inhabiting some of the places I went to, but anyway, I did. And so, once you're there, once you've found it, there's just nothing like it, that ability to sit contained and quiet, and to um, to allow yourself to be free, to have no thought. Now, of course, the minute you have no thought, you've had a thought, right?
Yes.
And so this is the battle. It's the battle of the mind and allowing. And so the thing is, what we're learning is just how to be still, how to be contained, how to not just fly off, because like I was a whirling dervish, right? I was just all over the place. And the ability to just stay, because when you can just be, so much can occur, it's in the seeking of things that you don't know what you're looking for, where you are. Well, you know what you're looking for, but you don't know why you're where you are. That having something as simple as just opening your spine and allowing it to do the work. And this is known as Kundalini, of course, is the opening and the decompressing of the spine, and allowing the goddess Kundalini to do her work. And so she's done her work, and I've had all the involuntary movements and all of that help to bring my spine into alignment and decompression. And I know my bed has probably given me another 10 years of life, probably. But
That's great.
it may not, but it won't matter either way. I just feel really good,
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
I felt better for the last 10 years, even on my first day at yoga, than I had felt when I was probably 40 and 50 and 60.
That's great.
Isn't
Yeah.
it amazing? It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
No, that's fantastic. And I guess so you get the physical benefit, and then you were talking about, so the poses, those movements, they might go for an hour or so, and then do you settle into like a quieter time where you get to reflect and meditate?
Yes. So look, the structure can be anything you want it to be.
Mhm.
There is no hard line.
Yep.
But I am a devotee. I'm not planning to become a monk or a nun or anything else. I will be a yogi living in the world, but I am known as a Shisha. I'm just currently undergoing another evaluation for another level of devotion,
Mhm.
shall we say. And I'll probably find out how that goes. And it depends on the level of study I've done, the level, how I interact with the guru, what she understands my understanding is, how I am with other people, what kind of a team player am I, all the things that we do naturally in life anyway.
Yes.
And so I'm just seeking another level at the moment, and I'll probably just stay in that level till I drop my body, But um, that's because my circumstances are what they are at the moment. I don't know what I might do if God forbid, oh, shiver, like if anything happened to Tony, I might reconsider that. But currently, as the way things are, I'd be very happy to achieve that level. And if I do, well, that'll be wonderful. And what it does is it allows me, so I wake very early in the morning, and while I'm still in bed, I do what's known as pranayama. So I have some conscious thoughts about how I want my day to be. And then I just go into a state of pranayama, which is a form of breathing that helps prepare me for meditation, because I've found just through the way I learned that if I do my asanas first, so shavasana first, which is a relaxation pose in yoga, then 4 asanas followed by another 4 asanas, starting at the bottom, working up again. And then I do shavasana again. I could go into a meditation like that. I'm done. But because in the morning I don't have an hour and a half to 2 hours to do all the asanas to do meditation, I do the breathing known as ujjayi pranayama. So it's a deep form of breathing, where we just breathe through a very tiny little part of our throat. But it's not about the breathing, it's about the sound that we make when we do the breathing. It's called ocean sounding breathing. And so I do that for half an hour while I'm still in bed, because I figure it's 8 degrees outside. I might as well just stay in bed and do it. So
Yep.
I do that, and then I get up and I do my ablutions, sit down, light my candle, make my devotions to the guru, and then I sit down and I play the music that I like to play for meditation, and I go through internal saying of mantra for about 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And then I expand that and I do outward mantra. So I say it out loud or sing it out loud for about another 10 minutes. And then I do mantra using japa, which is my Rudraksha beads. And so there are 108 of these that represent the 108 Upanishads, which is a whole nother story. And so we count off the 108 of our mantra on
Yep.
this out loud, moving a bead along each time until we come around to the guru bead, which indicates that we've done that round.
Yep.
And so I do that out loud. And then once I reach the guru bead, I just put it down, and then I just go into a meditation for as long as I go into a meditation for.
Okay.
But it is generally, the shortest time would be about 20 minutes. And I've been
Yep.
there for, I don't know, an hour and a half in actual time. But, the
Mm.
thing is, and the point of meditation is to have no thought. Well, that's a very simplistic way of putting it. But so if you're thinking, you're not meditating. And,
Yeah.
so people say, oh, yeah, I meditate on this or that. Well, and that's fine, because it can take you to the place where you do actually go beyond.
Mm.
But because the mind loves to repeat good, it loves to repeat stuff over and over and over. You've heard it swirling around, churning, churning. So all we do is give it the guru given mantra, say that, and you don't have to worry about all the other crap because it's
Yes.
taking you into your own self, right?
Yeah, I
It
get
just
that.
makes it all easy. It just
Yep.
takes you there faster than if you were sitting there looking at a candle or something. You
Yeah.
can do that. There are other modalities of meditation.
Yeah.
I'm not here to diminish in any way,
Mm.
because meditation is the goal, and however you reach it is fine by me. But this is how I was taught.
Yeah, it makes sense, Mum. Just to jump in there about the different modalities of meditation, I can personally speak to. It sounds crazy, but in the middle of a fight, doing jujitsu where you're rolling with someone, you don't have thought in your mind. You know, what you're cooking for dinner is not on your mind. The problems at work are not on your mind.
Cellular memory and all that.
Yeah, so it's just mindedness. And so as that is an example, other people might get it, going out surfing
Yes,
because,
but you
they.
know what that is.
Yes, and so you finish that, whatever that meditation is, and you are clearer of mind because you've actually given your mind a rest from the noise. You've been able to eliminate everything, and some people find it, as you say, looking into candles, and other people find it dropping into a good wave. So, um, you've got to find what works for you,
From my
100%.
mind, I
Yeah.
have so much crap going on in it, truly.
Oh, yep.
Well, the sort of rubbish I would tell myself, such limiting thoughts. I mean, this is a lifelong journey I've been on, and you've seen part of the growth of it. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I did have cellular memory about stuff that I couldn't explain.
Yep.
I turned away from the visions that were trying to come to me when I was young. I was scared out of my wits about it, and sought to make it all go away, which explained why I loved marijuana like I did, because it was my way out of having to see what my inner self was trying to show me. But I was just scared of it, like I was just really scared of
And
this thing I didn't understand.
well, I'm keen to sort of have a chat about that if you're comfortable to, because
It's difficult to know what you
it
might
might.
want to know.
Well, I guess as people get to know us having this chat, it would be interesting if you're able to reflect a little bit on maybe childhood experiences, good or bad, that maybe defined your journey into spiritual awakening. So there might have been terrible visions or dreams or other things that you might be willing to share, or experiences that maybe other people will identify with to help them on their spiritual journey as well.
So the mind is a curious thing, and so is fear. And when you're feeling fearful, and usually we feel fear, and half the time we don't even know why we're feeling the fear, or it's a limiting belief about that fear. Like there's no rational reason why that fear you should be feeling it. I don't recall feeling fearful as a child, really. I mean, I had a few little experiences, where you wonder what's around the corner or in the cupboard or something, but I didn't have those sorts of fearful experiences. But it was interesting. One of your other interviewees talked about the importance of water, and water is absolutely. I use it for analogy, just as like in this recent reading I just gave you about the ice blocks all being individual, but they're all
Mm,
one, and then the depths of the ocean. This is how I was able to understand what was happening. That there were different levels within me that I could access.
mm,
And I didn't know how, because I'm busy splashing around on the surface in that top meter of water. And even though I loved water and I would dive deep, that was when fear would come, because I knew I was entering into a new realm. And I loved swimming, and I would go swimming, but all my swimming until I started scuba was surface swimming. And so these analogies help me to understand the greater depths of my own consciousness and how I could reach them. And water was that great connector for me.
Yeah.
So between ice cubes and buckets being measured at different depths and everything, that sort of led me to what consciousness could mean, and finding out that I didn't have to keep looking outward for everything. I didn't have to keep looking to friends to give me validation. I just didn't need all the things I'd put around myself to somehow bolster me in the world, because now I was coming from a different place. And
Yeah.
and everything seems so superficial, and I probably went right off track. But I was just trying to connect the water together, because my fears were most felt in water.
Well, it's interesting that that's the case because uh, as you raised me, you actually emphasized how important being a good swimmer was. So
You might have
this
to save this one.
metaphorically, you didn't know it, but you were training me to, from the beginning, to be able to operate at different depths.
Yes, yes.
So
I didn't know it either, but
yeah, so
this is what I mean, this sort of memory. I was operating on memory, not really conscious of why I was doing. There are so many other things that some of them are just slipping my mind, but
yeah,
you know,
it all makes sense to me, Mum. You're that
that's so
description.
good.
Yeah, it all makes sense to me. So I'll try and clarify it for
Okay, yes,
anyone
you
that
bring it
might,
back around.
yeah, that might kind of be wondering what we're talking about. So Mum was a great swimmer when she was a young lady, and very capable. And when I was growing up, Mum encouraged me to swim from a fairly early age. But I had a fear of water that I remember leading up to
Yeah.
primary school or thereabouts. Very reluctant to be in any water except a bath at the most. And I don't know where that came from, but I definitely had some sort of intrinsic fear of water. I think my dad, Dave Hogan, who I've also put on this chat, threw me in a bloody river or pond once, and I didn't
That was
know.
me. That was me. I threw you to him.
Sorry, you threw me in, did you?
Believe it might have been me.
Both of you.
I've certainly carried the guilt of that over the years. So whether it was me or whether it was him, I don't know, but I feel like it was me.
Well, maybe I got thrown in more than once, but
Possibly you did.
I remember not being able to swim. And anyway, I quickly learned how to do something, tread water or something. And over the years, my fear changed, and it actually became the opposite. I became adventurous in water. And it's probably because you encouraged me so much. So my instinct was to be fearful of it, but through encouragement or being thrown in, eventually I came round.
Persistence and perseverance, Rory.
So, but it makes sense to me because if it was something that subconsciously did sit in your mind, then you would want your children to not have that as a challenge. Even if you didn't know that for yourself, you're going to impart that. So I appreciate that. And what it's done is it's given me levels of confidence to know the depths of water that I can physically take myself in. I know how my body reacts to that, and I've had a lot of joy in the water, spearfishing and doing other things over the years, scuba diving, etc. So
Free diving. When you told me about freedom, we went to Brown or Black Beach, is it? And you went in that beautiful part and went down and did like a little free dive type of thing.
yes,
I was just in, or it was so surreal. That was so surreal that day. That was one of my most surreal days down on the coast.
yeah, right.
Let's go there again one day. I'd love to swim there again now.
Yeah, yeah, I'll take you back. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
we must
Dark
go
Beach.
back.
Yeah.
Dark Beach, Black, that's right, Dark Beach. How strange.
Yes.
Dark street, Dark Beach.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
connecting
there's
themes.
all these synchronicities, darling. There's so many synchronicities. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Excellent. So we got through the water kind of analogy as helping you to see yourself better and to then be able to take yourself through the different dimensions of your being. And so you talked about how you open it up at the base of your spine. So that's a dimension of, if you were to think of your body as a vessel of water, as an example, you're starting kind of at the base of the spine, at the bottom of the ocean. And so,
Indeed,
yeah.
yes, I've never looked at it like that, but yes. So I thought you were going to go down the chakra road, and whilst chakras are very much part of what other people refer to as part of, we don't have, I mean, we acknowledge that chakras exist in Svarupa, but because of the lineage of the gurus over such period, it's burned up all the chakras. There's no need for us to be worried about chakras anymore. They're there, they're fine. You know, if some people have to clear their chakra, that's up to them. It happens anyway, but we're not dealing with it. The more important thing is to get you to that river of consciousness, that sea of consciousness as fast as you can. You know, like time is of the essence here. We're not messing around. You know, if there's a shortcut, this is the one we want. And it's not shortcut Western values, it's shortcut Eastern Kashmiri Shaivism. That's why they have the gurus that follow the guru that follow the, you know, like it can only continue in that realm as long as there is a guru who has been given the Shakti part and the lineage from another guru. It doesn't come any other way. You don't get it from your gym master down the road at the gym. You don't get it. It doesn't come that way, you know. The only other person you might get it to that you perhaps have an understanding of is a Maharishi, which is just another name for a guru, but it's one you've probably heard more in the Western world than
Yes.
But a Maharishi is the same, you know, like when it comes from these people, it has the tradition of the lineage that brings all of that forward over the length of that particular one, you know, like whether it's Vedic or whether it's Svarupa, it is the length of that time. And that's where we're so fortunate, you know. I mean, there are people around here that invite me to go to their yoga class. It's not a it is a yoga class in their mind, but it's not the yoga that we do. It's not about how fabulously we look in lycra. It's about how our body sits in quietude, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
The
different.
It's different. And it's not a diminishing, because seriously, a lot of people will start there and that will be the start of their journey, and they will find over time that they will end up somewhere altogether different. But I don't think it matters how you get to the center of town.
Yeah.
It's you take any road in that you like, that works for you. The center is where we want to be.
Yeah, it's a really good analogy, Mum. And I agree in that, you know, there's some activities out there that pose as, you know, the thing to do. So I'll take martial arts. There's clubs out there that you can join. They're very family oriented. You get to wear a gi or a uniform, and you get to be part of a club, but you're probably not going to learn much. You know, it's an entry level. It's something, and what I say to that is, you know, you got to start somewhere, and it's something is better than nothing.
Yes.
So, but you know, for those people that poo-poo beginning at that sort of stage, I would just say that's where some of the greatest martial arts began, in those sort of more simplistic environments. They could, you know, they felt comfortable walking in because it wasn't, you know, an instructor yelling at people to do push-ups on their knuckles. It was the comfortable, you know, family friendly.
So,
yeah, everyone gets a drink break every 5 minutes. You know, I can see why people do it. But I hear what you're saying as well. So
it just comes with time and
yeah,
practice and understanding what you need in order to get what you want out of it, you know. And I needed solitude of a beautiful space that I could learn to find, like be in a space that was safe and comfortable, and I could go inward, find the self, find the love, feel all that beauty, like, so I know the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and I'm so pleased I've arrived at this point in my life that I can just let the whole lot go. It doesn't matter, it is what it is, and I know that everyone's getting in kinks all over the place, and I'm going like, yeah, whatever. It's not that I feel whatever, but the more important thing is getting more people to meditate for me, like helping
Yeah.
people understand what it is to help bring the consciousness of everything, AI, the people, everything, just bring it all down. How are we going for time? You're right.
Yeah, so we've done just over an hour so far. How amazing has that been? The time has just flown. However, just before kind of we start to wrap up this one, because I'm keen to kind of jump into how you see uh, yoga and the spiritual connection you're finding through yoga. Uh, how do you see it relating to some of the other spiritual pathways that people choose? And we don't have to talk about that right now, but keen to kind of investigate with you the connection to religion, and how you can draw parallels, or if you see parallels between what your practice and whether it's even able to sit alongside a religious belief, or a dogma, or a scripture of some kind, whether they're compatible or whether they are kind of two unique things. I'll be keen to kind of pick your brains, unless you want to say something just to
I
kick
can't
things off
speak
in
to
that space.
religion because I don't have religion per se.
Yep.
I think I have a intellectual idea about what religion is, but I don't know really. I mean, I just found my Bible the other day. I was gifted in 1962. I was 7.
There
Um,
you go.
yeah, well, it's interesting. And I thought, what am I going to do with this Bible when the time comes? But I know what I'm going to do with it. Um, yeah, religion doesn't hold much for me. The thing, I have my own level of uncertainty around. I don't fully understand why we have iconography of the Hindu religion as something we enjoy in our ashrams. Now, I'm really happy to have Ganesh there. He's an elephant, the son of Shiva. I don't fully grasp all of that. I'm not really caught up in the iconography of it. I have goddesses in my ashram, and I'm doing goddess studies. So part of that includes because saints, so
Yeah.
any godlike person. So it doesn't have to be just a goddess in our medium of
Yes.
Barupa. But for instance, one of my earlier studies, much earlier this year, I just can't remember her name now, but she was a Catholic saint, and she lived, and she did some amazing, amazing things. And I find that absolutely fascinating. And she does go on, and she's a saint, and she's revered in the Catholic Church. So there's a lot of commonality, a lot of parallel, and possibly even some crossovers. I'm not in the least bit focused on that because religion doesn't serve me well. I come from a place where I just have this already limiting belief that it's been the cause of too much death and mayhem and upset and everything across the planet for so many eons that I don't even really want to think about what I'm doing as having a context about or a connection to religion, although I know that it does. But if you want the religion, well, go and be a Hindu. That's fine. But I just want to get to consciousness, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
I,
really concerned about who's part of the waters, and that just serves to substantiate an idea or a rhetoric or a narrative or whatever. But I'm not concerned. I'm so deeply invested in this. It doesn't matter to me that other people have a I know that a lot of people who don't know what I do think I probably am going all religious. I don't really care what they think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter because it's not important what they think.
Mm.
It is to them,
Mm.
but it's not to me. I've wrangled this for so long, but religion doesn't do it for me. I don't understand. There's a few things I don't understand. I don't understand why religion, I don't need to understand either. Religion doesn't do it to me because of my own limiting beliefs about how many people have been persecuted in the name of religion.
Yeah.
What's some other things I don't really believe in? Oh, well, I don't know, but I know that I don't believe in everything just because other people do. Do you know what I mean? I can't think what's
Yeah.
right at this.
So yeah, I think like just to kind of wrap that up then, because I guess I'd ask the question because that's the subject matter of spirituality and connecting with the self and the greater consciousness that we're all part of that you mentioned. I guess for me, it brings implications of divinity. And if there's divinity within us, people are trying to explain it in different ways. And so I'm addressing the people that have divinity in different ways so that they can hopefully understand that divinity can be achieved in many different ways. And following a dogma is not necessarily in your best interests. But that's a conversation for another time. And
I can think about that a bit more if you like, but yeah, I can't really speak to religion. I just don't feel I have any capacity for that. I can remember refusing to be confirmed, refusing. I like Dad wasn't heavily invested in it. Mum wasn't either, really. It was just an expectation. If you went to Sunday school, you'd do this and then you'd do that, and then and I'm just going, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. You already now. This was when Harry was starting to realise he had a bit of a
yeah,
on his hands.
it's
I'm not
funny, isn't
doing
it?
that.
Yeah. And like there's modern churches, obviously I've been exposed to modern churches and you know the smoke machines and the music playing and all of these sort of icons on the walls and bits and pieces seem to me to detract from the real reason that people are coming together. And you know, you've explained also in your ashram how you know the iconography is fine and it's there and you can work with it, but you don't feel like it's absolutely necessary. And I think the same thing is going on in religion with you know churches and iconography and other things. And you know, I guess you know, it boils down to what you mentioned earlier. You carry the divinity within, and I think Jesus said something: the church is within you. You don't need to have an idol. You don't need to go to a place. So I guess this is where the crossover is coming, and I'm keen to explore that. We don't have to explore any religious sort of stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, but I'm
No,
keen to,
I just don't know about it. You know, like
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
understand the relevance of it. I understand that if someone, say, for instance, oh, my friend, she was, you know, heavily invested in the Catholic Church, and poor darling, I just used to give her the biggest curry about it. You know, it's like
yeah,
just what, you know, and you got all these people and they're all pedophiles and what, you know, like, oh God.
yeah, yeah. Look,
But that said, it's still the center of town we're looking for, right?
yes,
So if it's religion that takes you there, or it's mysticism that takes you there, or it's a surfboard, or it's a spaceship, or whatever it is, does it really matter? You know, like it's just a whole bunch of stories that you can embrace. I've got so many studies, so many books, I got so many everything. I'll never do them all in my lifetime, but perhaps you can inherit those and maybe you'll read them. But you know, it doesn't really matter if you're looking for self as a Catholic, as a Buddhist, as a bloody Hindu, as whatever all the others are. I don't think it's any different than me just being a little old yogi looking for it
Yeah.
too. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think we've all just chosen different cars, if you like, or different vehicles, shall we say? Let's use the word vehicle
Yes.
to get to the place that we all yearn for, which is the self. You know, like all we're really, to me, when we talk about God or religion, we're looking for it outside of ourselves. That's how I see. You know, we go to church and we beg them, or we don't beg anyone. I don't know what they do in church, but they go there and they're gifted something from the vicar, the preacher, the whoever in the in the pulpit,
Yep.
and they take away. Now I sit here and I listen to the guru. She gives beautiful discourses. You know, it's the same. It's like going to church and listening to
A sermon.
a sermon, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep.
The language is slightly different, but the destination, I believe, is the same.
Mm.
Perhaps people in church are looking to receive it from outside. Within yoga, we expect to find it inside.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful way of putting it, Mum. I hear what you're saying. And maybe it's very similar to, the old stories about how, Jesus was, saying that you don't need to have that building. You carry it within you wherever you go. And it sounds like a very similar philosophy.
You know, I used to say to you a lot that granddad, or your granddad, but Harry used to say to me, he probably didn't say it a lot, maybe, I don't know, maybe half a dozen times in his life that I can remember. But if he saw me a bit troubled and he was feeling a bit compassionate and not like he wanted to thump the bejesus out of me, he would say stuff like, you have everything you need. You carry your God within you, and just on his bike, like down the road. It wasn't. And I mean, on reflection, they're those touchstones
Yes.
for me. That's a touch. It's like, oh my God, oh my God.
Yep.
And he was not a religious person,
Mm.
as you know,
Mm.
and yet I think he was a divinely intuitive man who understood a lot more than I ever gave him credit for.
Yes, and he had, from my knowledge of his life, he had some extreme experiences in war, and then he had a lot of time to reflect up in the mountains of the South Island of Aotearoa.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
he probably connected with his spirit, or the spirit during that time.
Yes.
And so what a beautiful way to leave this conversation with that thought
Well,
of
shame. I
being.
don't think I want to leave.
Well, we're going to come back and we're going to keep going, but
Oh, that'd be great, darling. I
yeah,
am enjoying, and I think, look, it matters not a toss to me if anything ever went anywhere near YouTube. I guess I started to realize, as Granddad became unwell, and I was going backwards and forwards, and I had a couple of phone messages that he'd left, and I started to treat those with such sacrament, if you like, because it was him speaking to me. And so whether or not this goes anywhere is irrelevant to me. It's you and I having a chat that we probably wouldn't otherwise have.
that's right,
Because
Mum.
of time is not conducive to us to be in the same room all the time. But Phil sort of started the idea, and I thought, oh, that's absurd. And then I thought back to when Harry's voice messages, I kept them, and I thought, no, I think this is actually quite an important thing to do.
Yes, I do think it is, and I'd like to talk to you why I think this is important. These chats, you and I having a chat, and connecting with other people authentically is important. It comes back to some very big things that are coming in the future. So
Yes, well, yes, and look, oh my God, we could go on forever about everything, and I'd love to, and we will.
yes,
But
we
no, I
will.
say, darling, I've truly, I bow to you, my son.
I love you, Mum. Thank you very much. And it's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for this chat. And I'll talk to you during the week, and can't wait for the next one.
It'll be great.
All
Love you,
right.
darling. Bye
Love
now.
you. Have a great day.
I will. You too, sweetheart.